everybody, we are live. And by the way, it is still Lent, everybody. And every year I do not know what to give up. Sometimes though, others decide what you'll not be doing for 40 days. Last year, it was my wife who let me know without saying a word that for Lent, I gave up sex.
Ooh, nice.
Let's start this show.
Start the show.
Since 2020, we've done plenty of virtual comedy shows online, and though the virus is slowing, we'll keep going because we still got lots of hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin.
Welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. It's a Zoom meeting with jokes. So please turn on your camera, turn on your mic, unless you have barking dogs or a rabid moose in your living room, in which case, please mute yourself for Pete's sake, and let's have
It's
some fun.
the Virtual Comedy Show, starring Steve Goodie and Brad Tassell. Tonight, Steve and Brad welcome comedian
Carole Montgomery,
plus funny songs from
Lauren Mayer,
and a patty melt from Patti Vasquez.
who's not here yet.
And much, much more. Now, please welcome Brad Tassell.
Hi, everybody. Somebody message Patty. Welcome to the Virtual Comedy Show. No time for long-winded rambling. I know y'all wish there was no time for jokes, but I'll get to that. I have to do a show in less than 15 minutes upstairs in the main theater. This is the Virtual Comedy Show starring Steve Goodie, everybody, and Patti Vasquez. And me, I'm Brad Tassell. We have a super show. We have famous New York comedian Carole Montgomery. She is brilliant. And superstar singer from the West Coast, Lauren Mayer.
Hey!
By the way, this is Hell Grand. I'll be in Grand Cayman tomorrow, and this is the sign for Hell Grand Cayman, where you can go, and the only place in the world you can send letters from hell. So unless you're in Mar-a-Lago. So anyway, here we go. By the way, now and you're Melania. So anyway, but so now I don't know if y'all knew this, but Carole Montgomery is the creator and one of the stars of the groundbreaking comedy tour and Showtime specials. I think she's had two called Women of a Certain Age. And we have three. That's why this night we have three very talented women of a certain age on this show.
Maybe so.
Isn't that amazing? And it also gives me a chance gives me the idea. It gives me an idea, and I'm going to start a show myself about a group that doesn't get the public and entertainment industry attention they deserve. So my new tour, middle-aged white guys who tell women where they're wrong. I think that's... When do we get our due? Okay, just kidding. But I have less than 8 minutes. I have exactly 8 minutes to do whatever jokes I wrote. Here they are. Go. Number one. Hey, did you see this? The first U.S. spacecraft has landed on the moon in 50 years, everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, the Intuitive Machines lander, the company's Intuitive Machines, their lander named Odysseus, touched down on the moon, and it ended up coming in too fast and falling over limp, joining the ranks of every teen boy who finally got the thumbs up on a date. The lander will now lay on its side, trying to complete any of the planned experiments it can till it dies forever in about 3 days. Odysseus has been able to send a few messages back to Earth. The most repeated is, I'm sorry, this has never happened before. Okay. There you go. We're back. Here we go. Also, more space news. Round two.
Win the world heavyweight championship.
Okay, who's watching TV, you guys?
It's my brother.
I don't think so. I think it was Bridget.
Yeah. Nope, it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Because my
Bridget.
brother is the world's champion something. Here we go. A school bus-sized European satellite crashed to the Earth last week. I hope you saw that. The ERS-2 was launched in 1995 to observe natural disasters, and the satellite stopped working in 2011 after it realized no one was listening. The massive satellite stayed in orbit for the next 12 years. 12 years. And after last year's record number of natural disasters caused by climate change, it flung itself to Earth in a pit of despair. Okay. So, there you go. Fun, huh? Kind of dark. Here we go. Hey, the Russian presidential election is coming up. And in a case of pure dumb luck, someone murdered Putin's biggest challenger. What? Vlad is so lucky, isn't he, everybody? Every election, his opponent is randomly murdered and usually while sitting in jail. How could this happen?
That's crazy.
Now, of course, Joe Biden, who keeps seeing conspiracy everywhere in Russia, has decided to place 500 new sanctions against Putin and Russia. 500.
Wow.
Some of them you might have heard about, like the measures against Russian card payment systems and military institutions. But there are some little-known sanctions that you may not have heard about. So here are the little-known sanctions against Putin and Russia. The number one new sanction, Putin can still be a contestant on the new Golden Bachelorette, but he can only kill half of the bachelors to win. That's be on the Bachelorette, Golden Bachelorette. Another new sanction, another new hard-hitting sanction against Russia, keep Tucker Carlson. Hard hitting. That one's going to cause much pain in that country. Another little known sanction by Biden against Russia. No more Broadway with Bobert.
Ooh.
That's going to break him right there.
Mm-hmm.
And the last little known sanction against Russia. Griselda won't stream. That's the bad one. Y'all been watching Griselda? No? Okay. All right. I'm going to be done in a minute and a half. Here we go. Everybody's like, could you do it in 30 seconds? Here you go. Trump has launched his new Victory 47 cologne, everybody. Yeah. It comes with a golden tower. I said tower. It comes with a golden tower and is the first men's fragrance made by a douche.
Nice.
Yeah. The smell has been called Amber Woody or Air of Epstein. Fans are hoping this will be the first in a long line of the Great Orange's Ode to Trader line. Okay. Hey, the SAG Awards were held a couple not too long ago, and it now makes me never want to watch a movie again. Okay, here we go. By the way, I'm going to close with this and then go do my show. Podcaster Shane Gillis was the host of SAG Live this week, leaving us all to wonder, is the world literally out of famous people? That's my see. Now I'm not going to comment on whether the show was good or bad or funny, but what I do want to comment on is what we have on this show is two amazing female comedians that could have done a much better job than that guy, and we're going to see him tonight. Steve, bring yourself in.
I'm back, baby.
I got to go. Thank you very much.
Tassell, everybody. He's got better things to do.
I do. I've got things to do. Now I got to figure out how to make you host. You ready?
I'm sure you can figure it out. Hey, by the way, you said that we have 3 hilarious, funny females. Actually, we have 4 because our friend Carla is going to fill in and do the worst joke of the week at the end of this show because you are too good for us.
I am too good for you. Okay, bye, everybody. Have a
Bye,
great
Brad.
night.
Everybody say bye, Brad.
See you next
Hey,
week.
how do I get out of here? Get me out.
I don't know.
I can't find me. I'm not gone yet.
Could you leave quietly? Is that possible?
Okay, I'm just going to leave. Just going to go. Bye.
It's opening day this past weekend. Is everybody excited?
Take a left, take a left.
I
go
know
straight.
you are glued to your screens. I know everybody, including Sideways Eric, has a song going through their head now.
Yes.
And that leads us directly to today's top 10 category, top 10 surprises on NASCAR's opening weekend. You know, you think NASCAR, you think it's the same thing over and over, but it's really not. There are surprises. So top 10 surprises on NASCAR's opening weekend. Number 10, the Amish car won it all. That was surprising. That horse is exhausted. Number 9, the Prius car was sponsored by Bernie Sanders and vice versa. I just realized you can't see the whole screen, can you? Let's do this.
Not quite.
Is that better?
There we go.
That happier now? All right. All right. It's only our 198th show. I'll figure this out. Top 10 surprises on NASCAR's opening weekend. Number 8. And both had the right turn signal on the whole time. Number 7. Which is why every 20th lap, everyone turned right. And I'm really sorry that Brad's missing this next one. Number 6. The Viagra car took the pole position.
Oh.
Just sad.
That
Number
car's
5.
right down.
And finished 3 to 4 hours later.
Oh,
It's
my.
just sad. It's just sad. Top 10 surprises on NASCAR's opening weekend. Number 4. The Gen Z car didn't show up, but got a trophy anyway.
Boo.
No booing. How
Wasn't
dare
a
you?
Boo, that was an ooh.
Number 3. Turns out NASCAR stands for North American Society of People Who Don't Understand How Acronyms Work. Number 2. The Tesla car would have won if it hadn't needed a pit stop every 5 laps.
Oh.
And the number 1 surprise on NASCAR's opening weekend. Taylor Swift isn't dating a driver, and people are mad about that. Okay, and this is where Brad usually comes in, but Brad ain't here. So we're going to get Patti in here. Patti, are you ready for a little meltage? There
Sure,
she is. She's
let's do
right
it.
there. Everybody, it's our friend Patti Vasquez.
Hey,
How's it
buddy.
going, Patti?
Doing all right. Thank you for having me.
Good. You look fantastic, as always.
Look at Bob. Look at that. Sorry.
Bob's excited that you're here. Do some melting. I'm ready for some melting. All right,
Woo-hoo.
let's do this thing, and then you do that thing. Here we go.
It's time for a Patty Melt with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, politicians getting caught grabbing asses. She's sitting down, and Bob's excited. It's a Patty.
I'm excited. I don't know how many people are in Chicago right now, and I know that the weather is erratic everywhere, but I'm sorry, 70 degrees today in Chicago. It's ridiculous. It should feel glorious, but I got to tell you, this is wrong. This means bad things are happening. And by the way, it'll be 70 degrees again tomorrow, and then it's going to snow, because of course it will. That's how it's very. I saw somebody on Friday. It was 60 degrees on Friday, and I told them it was going to snow. You guys, we got several inches of snow last Friday, and I felt so bad. Like I couldn't stop thinking about him because he was wearing a short sleeve shirt. He'd gone to work that way, and then everybody else. It was complete bizarro world because people were wearing heavy coats in 60-degree weather because their brains are like, nope, it's February. I'm still wearing the layers. So it's yeah, I am literally melting. Although. I have to tell you, my husband, who does not tolerate heat well, 65 degrees today, he turned the air conditioner on. That is unacceptable. I mean, just go sleep outside. That 65 degrees is good sleeping weather for him, apparently. But I just got back from Michigan. First of all, I was very surprised, and thank you to our Michiganders for not displaying any sort of right-wing craziness. I didn't usually when I travel. I'm just like I flinch a lot because I'm like, oh God, they're gonna find out my last name is Vasquez and have me deported. So I was going to Michigan, and by the way, a great organization that I got to perform for on Saturday for a mental health group called Fountain Hill, and I felt so bad because they were all these clinical professionals who are therapists and psychologists, and I ended up telling my entire life story to this poor woman, and I was just like, I couldn't help it. She just had a very nice face, and I haven't talked to anybody in a while. What I'm saying is, she said, "Why don't you talk to your therapist about that?" And I'm very sorry that all happened to you. You're right to be angry, which is all I really need. Isn't that all we ever need is for someone to say you're right to be mad? Like, that's okay. Like, by the way, yeah, if someone's complaining about something, right? Like right now, you don't have to say it right now while I'm talking, but it's okay to be mad. Because let me tell you the next thing that happened. So after the show, I thought, because I don't know if other comics are like this, or anybody that works late at night. It's not like you get off the clock and you go right to bed. If it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, I still have to unwind. So, as I'm wont to do, I maybe ended up at a bar in Muskegon, Michigan. Woohoo! Because I was living it up. It was quite nice, and but a woman came in, clearly altered. There was a guy like holding her by her wrist. I wasn't sure if they were together, if they were having an altercation, but she was going through both something where she was altered because of the drinking and she dropped a vape, which did now, but the problem is, and I get it, we can kind of laugh at somebody who's had too much and gotten too high, but there were 4 dudes standing around her and one guy swearing at her, one of the bouncers, yelling at her to get out. So I was trying to connect with her. Turned out her uncle had just died. She was really upset. And I was trying to help her out. They ended up having to call the police in an ambulance. But during that time, you guys, people are videotaping her. Can you imagine, like, on a bad day when something's going wrong and, you know, whatever reason, imagine that being broadcast. All I know is one of the guys said to me, "Get your hands off me." So apparently I did go into the crowd and grab somebody's phone because I was just like, these people, if you see somebody struggling, you know, if you feel comfortable talking to them, but yelling at them, videotaping them, because man, if I was the kinds of things I did in college after 14 upside down margaritas, I don't know. Yeah, we all have our bad days. So I'm just really angry. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do right back at him with the social media. So I went over, I took a video and I took a picture of him. And I was like, I'm going to blast this on social media. And I went back to my hotel and I was like, look at this guy. Because he flipped me off. And oh, sorry. Didn't mean to. He flipped me off and I put it online and people started engaging. And then I thought maybe he was having a bad day. And that's just who he was in that moment. I don't need to dock somebody or get somebody in trouble because they made a bad choice in a few moments. So I really am getting old, everybody. The hormones are all over the place.
That's Patti. Yes, everybody!
I pulled it down. I'm like, no, not like I have a big following, but I was like, what am I doing? Why am I going to make it bad for him?
I think maybe we need to change the name of your segment to either being the Doc Report or the weather.
The weather.
You did a very nice weather report at the top of that segment. That was all very good.
There you go.
Thank you, Patti Vasquez.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome. All right, let's say bye to Patti. And now, oh man, I know she's around here somewhere. Lauren, are you hiding?
I'm here.
Hey, everybody. It's our very good friend, Lauren Mayer.
Hey!
Yay. We haven't had you on this show in far too long.
I know. I was afraid I offended you or something.
You did, and that's why we want you back, right, Bob?
Sure.
Bob is very offended by you.
Is it that my curtains clash with your shirt?
That's what it is. Yeah, I can't
I'll get
have
a different
that.
color next time. I promise.
Can't have that. Plus all the docking. So.
Whoops.
All right. Well, Lauren, you know the drill. We're going to run a little preview, a little intro thing for you, and then you're going to do a song, and then I don't know what song you're going to do, but as soon as you finish that song, I have to do a song that answers it somehow, and then you'll do another song. Yes. I'm excited.
And thank you for standing up for me.
It's our musical guest. Our musical guest is gonna sing something funny and then Steve will play something in between. Our musical guest, our musical guest. It's time for our musical
With her clashing
guest.
curtains.
Thank you. And thank you for including me in the list of the funny female comedians who could have hosted Saturday Night Live. I'm honored to be in company with Carole and Carla and Patti. And so, I don't know. I thought, if you don't mind, I'm going to start with something that's a little bit more sentimental and non-political, because usually I do political songs. And I'm going to change my angle. So, I guess there's no way I can hide the frame of my curtains. So now you know.
wow.
I put up fake curtains in my office, so it looks like I'm in a stage or doing something cool.
Pay no attention to the office behind the curtain.
Yes, exactly. So this is from my show, Don't Mind Me, I'll Just Sit Here in the Dark, about the experience of being a Jewish mother, which I have coming up next week. So I thought I would share a little of that. There you go, come on. Oh, hang on a second. I love being my own producer. Here we go. Being a mother means feelings keep filling your heart. So many emotional moments right from the start. I learned I was pregnant pregnant with my first child, and I cried. I saw a blip on the sonogram they said was my son, so I cried. I felt the miracle of his first kick, the first of so many, so healthy and strong and constant, especially when I was trying to sleep, but by now that was impossible, so I cried. They laid my newborn in my arms after 20 hours of labor, 2 hours of pushing, and an extremely painful episiotomy. Only look it up if you're not squeamish. And I cried. I got to tell my son he was going to be a big brother, and I cried. I watched my 2 young sons playing so sweetly, pummeling each other, and I cried. All of those ordinary weekday dinners where we bonded as a family, except one of them usually hated what we were having, and the other one whined, why can't they watch TV on a school night? So I cried. I saw the first signs of puberty, like taller and their voices changing and hair in strange places, and that teenage body odor that defies any known antiperspirant shower gel, and I cried. Being a mother brings on the tears of joy, sadness and hope and gladness and fears. They discovered their unique talents and gifts, and I cried. I watched David leading the opening tap dance in his high school's production of 42nd Street, the most cheerful musical of all, but I still cried. I watched Ben singing his comedy songs in front of an audience of his fans who knew every word and sang along. Most of the jokes went over my head, but I was still laughing so hard that I also cried. My son started college, then jobs, then adult lives and careers and families, which is what I always wanted. And it was sort of bittersweet. And frankly, at this point, it's a relief because I am friggin' exhausted. And I cried. You want them to be independent, yet it breaks your heart when they roam. But don't worry, at least one of them's likely to move back home.
Yay!
Thank you. Dedicated to all the parents out there.
Wow, all the ups, the downs. Man. And speaking of ups and downs, I was very nervous. I had a song I wanted to do, and usually, Lauren, you do the political stuff, so the thing I was thinking of doing that would tie right in, but then you said you're not doing political. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? But
Well,
it turns
all of
out,
life is political, so you can do whatever
it
you
turns
want.
out the song I was going to do ties in perfectly. So, because you probably heard what's been coming out of Alabama recently
Oh, yeah.
regarding motherhood and such. Welcome to Alabama! What? You're pregnant? Or you froze some eggs? Sir, you better have that little lady step over here. She's got eggs. We know how to use them. That's what Alabama says. If anybody spooges them, they're babies, even frozen and microscopic. And any thought of the mother's health or of curing some disease, by God, we're gonna stop it. She's gonna carry that baby, even if she's still a baby. Girl's got no rights. The embryo has rights until she grows up to be a woman, and then she's a brood mare, made to be a mommy. That's right. We don't care about her bodily autonomy. What's that? When Jesus started up America, he made our national religion. Didn't want to separate church and state. Now you get back in the kitchen. She'll be fine. She'll have 8 or 9 to start. Girls got no rights. Honey, let the embryo have a turn on the seesaw. She's got eggs, but the state really owns them. We've got brand new rules and regs about them, their fallopians. She'll enjoy her downgrade. Commanders love their handmaids. If you thought it couldn't happen here, hey buddy, hold my beer. If she don't like government in her body, we'll get her a lobotomy. girls got no rights. Thank you, all right. You wanna go to the slammer for about 100 years? Girl, you're in Alabama, every egg is sacred here. But don't you raise no queers round here. Thank you very much. And now another brilliant song from Lauren Mayer.
Well, let's stay on that same theme.
Let's
know,
do.
because I did this one a while ago. I thought these kinds of songs were going to be out, completely done. So here we go. This applies both to Alabama and all the other Sharia law, Handmaid's Tale states that are coming up. So here we go. The latest fights over women's rights have us raging and snarling. But no one said it better than the incredible George Carlin. When people claim to be pro-life, their falseness and deceit runs rife as any social safety net they scorn. Oh, they'll stir up quite a fuss while you're still in a uterus. But hell, you're on your own soon as you're born. Yeah, once you're born, you're on your own, despite their sanctimonious tone. For any actual assistance, there's no room. Oh, once you're born, you're on your own. GOP policies have shown their utter disregard for life outside the womb. They claim to value motherhood, but don't support us like they should, which shows us what they think women are worth. They reveal they only need us as a breeder for a fetus, but you're on your own once you give birth. Once you give birth, you're on your own. You gotta manage all alone, with no help at all from heartless legislators, pushing misogynist laws that would prove the truth of Margaret Atwood, enslaving us like baby incubators. Handmaid's Tale theme. This faux concern of life is full of rank hypocrisy, as each red state's getting more restrictions locked up. Since keeping women in our place is their priority, seems they all gotta keep us all barefoot and knocked up. And now they're banning IVF birth control because the only point of sex is procreation, which means people who don't want kids, LGBTQ people, and postmenopausal women like me will be screwed. Or rather, not screwed. If you're a tiny clump of cell, conservative compassion swells, they'll rave about you on each microphone. But when of real help there's a dearth, that's not pro-life, it's just pro-birth, which proves that once you're born, you're on your own. As all our basic rights get checked, pre-born you're fine, preschool you're once you're born or you're given birth, you're on your own.
Wow. Yes! Lauren Mayer. Bob enjoyed that a lot.
I love yours. You made me laugh out loud. And
all right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your low standards. Hey, where can we catch your act performing live or online in the next little while?
I'm going to be at the Marsh in San Francisco on March 4th and March 18th. And if you're in San Francisco, you can come in person. It's 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10, whatever you guys can add. But it's online, it's streaming, and it's free to stream. So if you go to themarsh.org and you look up Monday Night Marsh Stream, you can find all the information. And it's a program where, there will be 3 performers on. I don't know the other 2 people, but they are always good, at least when I've been there before. And then I'll hope to come back to this show maybe in the next 2 years.
Oh, I think it'll be less than 2 years, gosh darn it.
I hope so.
Thank you, Lauren Mayer.
Go to my, I do a song every Friday, although I'm putting this week's out early because there's an Alabama theme going on. I've got an Alabama
There sure is.
Possibly tomorrow. My YouTube channel is Psycho Supermom, and I put out a song every week. I've been doing it since 2012 because I am
the Psycho Supermom. Yeah, you're out of your mind.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Lauren Mayer.
Thank you.
And look who it is. Oh my God, it's Carole Montgomery on the same screen with Lauren Mayer.
Hi,
That's why
Carole.
Bob's so excited.
I'm a woman of a certain age, so I love the title of your show. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Carole.
Hello.
So you've done this before. We're going to do a little video intro for you, and then you give us 10 minutes of awesomeness in the form of stand-up. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Here we go.
It's time for our big headliner. Got
funny jokes to say. Oh, do a 10-minute set headliner. Man, I'm so glad that it's Monday. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Carole Montgomery. And I can't get rid of Lauren. Hang on. Oh, no, she's gone. Okay.
Do I just start now?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh. Hi, everybody. It's been a while since I've done a Zoom show, but it's kind of fun, isn't it?
Mhm.
We're all not wearing pants. And for the ladies, we're all not wearing our bra because who cares? You can't see me, I can't see you. It's sweaty under there. You know what I'm talking about? So if I'm a little out of it, I apologize. I've been traveling a lot. I do a lot of work overseas with the military. I perform overseas for the troops. I've been all over the world. I've been to Iraq. I've been to Korea. I've been to Kosovo. And a lot of people always say to me, why do you go to such dangerous places to perform, Carol? I'm like, well, I live with my mother-in-law. I go to war zones to relax. And I live here in New York City. Do we have any New Yorkers here? And anyone? New Yorkers? No.
Transplant.
Transplant. Okay.
Moved to Virginia.
I live in an old New York City apartment, and I'm in my office right now, and so I have the windows open because it's one of those old apartments where you can't turn the radiator off. You probably have this where you are too. So what happens every day, especially during the winter, it gets really, really hot, right? So then I open up the window to get the good cold air in, right? Then it gets too cold. So then I close the window. Then it gets too hot. So then I open the window. Then I close the window. And I realized after doing this one day, my apartment is going through menopause. So I know that they introduced me before about the show that I created called Funny Women of a Certain Age. It's all female headliners over the age of 50. Yes, us. Yes, old women. That's us. So obviously we're all pretty much. Is there anybody here that's in their 20s? Anybody in their 30s? There you go. Hi, Ray. How old are you, Ray?
I'm 411.
You're 411. Okay, that's not. But there's no young people in this. We're like, isn't this nice? Look at us, all vibrant old people.
Vibrant old
Try to contain yourself without being so happy. What?
I think I might be the youngest in the room.
Could
Okay,
be.
and how old are you?
44.
44. Where are you?
She's a baby.
Oh, there you are. You're the baby of the family.
So far.
We all have
Well,
vaccine.
let me just say it. I'm sure everybody will agree with me on this. Getting older is wonderful. It's so much fun. It really is. Like, I've been married for over 40 years, and so when we were dating, it was always it was very like wine and cheese. That was nice. Remember that? Now it's acid reflux and gas. And so we go out to dinner a couple of days ago, and I had a couple of glasses of wine. We got home, and we were watching TV in my bedroom, and I got a little frisky. So I said to my husband, I said, "Hey, honey, you want to fool around?" Do you know what he said to me? "I just ate." So people, there's a myth about that, like old people, once we get old, we don't do anything, that we're feeble, and that, just because I'm incontinent doesn't mean that I'm incompetent. I'm peeing right now, people. I hope you can join me. So people always want to know, like, you've been married all these years, like, well, do you guys, you still fooling around? I'm like, well, kinda, but you can't do anything experimental. Like in the old days, remember when like maybe you use a little bit of oils and stuff in the bed? Like if you do that now, you could slip off the bed and break a hip. I mean, really. And I'm glad that the men are laughing at it too, because it's not just a woman's thing when you get older. You know what I mean? But I will say this bothers me. If I because I until I got into my 60s, I never realized that ageism existed. Do you know what I mean? Like if I had to choose right now between ageism or sexism, I would take a pat on the ass because it meant somebody noticed me. And And just so you know, men do deal with the ageism too, don't you guys? My gentlemen in the audience,
Oh,
men
yes.
do it. But it happens later for men. You know what I mean? Like a guy starts to experience ageism like in his 70s, right? Women, 15. Yep. That's good. That's what I like. I don't want to laugh. I want people going, she's correct. He is very correct about that. And so when I was young, what used to drive me crazy, like when I would walk by the construction sites, right? Do you remember that, ladies, when you walk by a construction site, there's some guy going, oh, sweetheart, come here, baby. I used to hate that. I hated it with what I would give for a whistle right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could walk past a construction site right now in New York City. I could be naked. And do you know what I'm going to hear? Lady, your nipples are getting bloody from scraping on the sidewalk. Just saying. But you want to know something? You want to know something? I researched this because that's what comedians do. There's only one job that job that people do where there is no ageism. Do you know what it is? Porn stars.
Really?
Really, I know. Look, I told you, I'm funny and informative. This is really true. So I have a friend of mine, young lady, she's in her 30s. She's an actual porn star. She had come to a show, we became friends. So we go out to dinner one night, and I was, we were having discussions, and I said, so like, when do you retire? Because, I'm 65, I'm getting to retirement age. When do you retire? Do you know what this young lady said to me? She goes, Carole, you could do porn at your age because there's a kink for everyone. And I'm like, I don't know if that was an insult or a compliment. I have to be honest. But I did get a little excited because that's like I could be a porn star. I mean, come on. I mean, I finally have that fallback career my parents wanted me to have. What kind would I be? Did you know that there are different genres of porn now? Yeah. You know what I love about doing this bit? All the men are looking at me like, I don't even know what porn is, Carole. They actually have like different genres. So I was starting to think, I was like, ooh, like, do they have like a Marvel universe? Right? Think about it. Like they have Iron Man. I could be Iron Supplement. Come on, people. So anyway, to wrap up, because I don't know because I'm just having fun here. I will tell you. Going back to the thing about people asking whether or not we fool around. Somebody recently said to me, "Do you ever use food in bed?" Once again, my husband, I just ate. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I remember years ago when we tried whipped cream in bed, which so I was young, so I cover them up in whipped cream. I'm like really excited, think I'm doing something really sexy, and I took all the whipped cream off him. I ate all the whipped cream up. I was full. I felt satisfied. I went to sleep. And then he woke me up. He woke me up in the middle of a sugar coma, and he goes, "I'm all sticky." And I was like, "Well, then roll around the couch and pick up some of the water." And that was my time.
Thank you very much, Carole Montgomery. Man, that was fantastic. Got me so excited. I started half writing terrible jokes. Because Brad's not here, someone has to do it. And the only thing I came up with was you're talking about superheroes and porn stars, and the Green Lantern could become the Green Plantain. That's all I came up with, and that's not even all right.
Not the same thing, but good. But thank you very much. I had a really nice time.
Thank you very much. You are awesome, wasn't she?
Yes.
She was. Hey, where can we catch your act in the next upcoming while, online or in real life?
We're doing a mini tour. We're doing the Funny Bone in Albany this Thursday, the Flying Monkey in Plymouth, New Hampshire on Friday, and then the Stadium Theater in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. But you can always catch me on the specials. I'm all over social media, Carole Montgomery Comic on Instagram. You can find me. I'm remember, like my friend said, there's a kink for everyone. I'm everywhere.
So don't forget CaroleMontgomery.com, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
CaroleMontgomery.com.
And
Yes.
Carol has an E on the end. That's important.
Yes, Carole Montgomery with an E.
Because the Carole Montgomery without an E is, you guessed it, a porn star. All right. Thank you very much, Carole Montgomery with an E. That was awesome.
Have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, my gosh, what a show it's been. And this is the part of the show where ordinarily I would do another dumb song, and I may very well do another dumb song. But we have Carla Ulbrich here who's waiting to do the worst joke. And since we have her here, I wonder if there's any way we could talk Carla into doing a song so I don't have to. What do you think, Carla? Could you possibly be talked into doing that on the spot?
I could probably come up. Yeah, you know what? Well, the first song that springs to mind, I just did it last week on this show.
And we enjoyed it, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Not all of us caught every word. And Lauren wasn't here. Okay, so if you're up for that, I will just do the intro as if it's me, and then it'll be you. How's that sound, everybody? Because I'm crazy! All right, here we go.
How about another dumb song from
Carla.
Steve for no reason?
Hang on. Now, I was supposed to put Carla on the screen at this point, and I failed to do so. So she's around here somewhere. Hang on. I'll find Carla. Oh, there she is. There she is right there. Yay!
Okay.
Oh, ukulele time. Awesome.
I thought of something else. I just that extra 5 seconds gave me bought me the time I needed to think of it.
I hear that a lot.
Oh my. The extra 5 seconds.
It's a grand total of 10 seconds, you see.
That's quite a brag. Okay. Sort of on that topic. And along the topic that you and Lauren were trading songs on. Anyone can pop out a baby. That's pretty plain to see. You don't have to be smart or kind. Just insert tab A into slot B. You'll figure it out. Just give it a shot. What's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, I don't know. Attila the Hun, Bloody Mary, Jack the Ripper. You'll figure it out. Or maybe not. Anyone can be a parent. Then when you're barely pubescent, you may screw them up for life, but in the words of Marie Antoinette, let them eat antidepressants. You'll figure it out. Just give it a shot. What's the worst thing that could happen? Vlad the Impaler, Kim Jong-un, Hitler. You'll figure it out. Or maybe not. People ask why I don't have kids. Why do I just have a cat? Oh yeah, I need to pass along all this dysfunction. The world needs more of that. You'll figure it out. Just give it a shot. What's the worst thing that could happen? Judas, Caligula, Satan. No, maybe not.
Carla Ulbrich, always there, always ready to be funny and appropriate and inappropriate at the same time. Hey, I have a thought. Now, you can reject this thought, obviously. That's your song. Here in Nashville, we have a thing that if someone writes a song and then someone else has an idea to help the song and the first songwriter accepts that idea, that even if the other songwriter only added a word, they're still entitled to a third of the song. They say a word gets a third. Well, I'm going to make this suggestion to you, Carla. It's not even a word, it's a letter. And if you accept it, you're legally required to give me a third, so careful in your answer. But when you said insert tab A into slot B, I thought it should be slot V.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, I'm glad not only don't you want it, you don't even understand it. So that answers my question. Thank you, Carla, and we'll come back to you in just...
You said turd, right?
Yeah, that's right. I wanted a turn. We'll come back to you in a little bit for the worst joke. Don't go away. That was awesome. And hey, my dad just joined us. Yay!
Yay!
I'm not going to spotlight him because that makes him nervous, but I want to just say, well, where are you, Dad? Is your camera on? I thought I just saw you. His camera may or may not be on. But my dad's here, and I want to say hi because, well, first of all, it's my dad. And second, his birthday's tomorrow. Yay!
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
And I had this whole thing planned to do, and then I noticed that Dad wasn't here, so I shifted the plan around, and that's why Carla did a song. And then in the middle of Carla's song, Dad shows up. So we're going to have a slightly longer show than usual because I'm going to do this thing because Dad likes it. So you think you've all heard this before, but you probably know I'm a big fan of Abbott and Costello.
Ooh, yes.
As is my dad, as is my brother. And the long story, I'm going to shorten it way down. We used to do Who's on First when we were kids. I was 11, he was 8, and we were terrible, but we were adorably pathetic. Then we got a little bit better at it to the point where the folks would ask us to perform it at family gatherings. And then we would say no, because kids, they're always there for you. Right, Carla? Yeah. So then a whole bunch of years go by. Both my dad and my mom turned 80 in the Chicago area 6 years ago. And we had a big party for the two of them. And I called up my brother and I said, let's do Who's on First. And we did it. We didn't do it perfectly or anything, but we practiced a lot to do it at the family event. It wasn't perfect, but we made the folks cry.
Aw.
And that's what you want with classic comedy. And then I wish there was some way to do this more. We did all that practicing to just do it one time. Then I finally realized we're in the 21st century. There is satellite technology. I can call on my brother at a show like this, even though he is currently at a conference in New York. He's a psychologist. He's at a psychology conference. I said, be ready at about 11:15 New York time, because I have a feeling we're going to do this show. So Bob, could you please hook up the big satellite and see if we can get my brother on the line? This would be real. Well, there he is.
Hi, Steve. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's a very good connection. Wow.
Good. Nice to be here in,
New York.
Right.
Yeah.
Home of the...
Yankees, stupid. Look behind you.
That's right.
Right, okay. Would you like to do our sketch?
Absolutely.
Okay, did you bring your hat? You brought your hat. All right. Would you like to go first?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, Costello, I'm going to New York with you. You know, Bucky Harris, the Yanks manager, he gave me a job as coach for as long as you're on the team.
Well, Abbott, if you're the coach, you must know all the players.
I certainly do.
I never met the guys, so you'll have to tell me their names, and then I'll know who's playing on the team.
I'll tell you their names, but they give these ball players these days some pretty peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Strange names. Pet names like Dizzy Dean.
Oh, and his brother Daffy.
Daffy Dean.
And their French cousin.
French?
Gouffet.
Gouffet Dean, let's see. Let's see, we got on the bags, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out.
I say who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
Are you the manager?
Yes.
You going to be the coach too?
Yes.
Do you know the fella's name?
I should.
Then who's on first?
That's right.
I mean the guy's name on first base.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first.
Who's playing first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's his.
That's whose.
Yes.
Look, if you got a first baseman, then who's on first?
That's right.
Look, when you pay off the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it.
All I'm trying to find out is the guy's name on first base. The guy who gets the money.
That's it.
Who gets the money on first?
He does, every dollar. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
Look, all I'm trying to find out is when you sign up the first baseman, how did he sign his name to contract?
Who?
The guy.
Who?
How did he sign his name?
That's how he signs it.
Who?
Yes.
Look, all I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
What's on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time!
Well, don't change the players
I'm
around.
not changing nobody.
Take it easy, buddy.
Who's the guy on first base?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, what's the guy's name on first base?
What's on second
I'm
base?
not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Oh, he's on third. We're not talking about him.
How did I get on third base?
We mentioned his name.
If I mentioned the third baseman's name, who did I say is playing third?
Now, who's playing first?
What's on first?
What's on second?
I don't know.
He's on third.
There I go back on third again! Now you stay on third base.
All right,
and
now what do you
walk.
want to know?
Who's the guy on third base?
Why do you insist on putting who on third base?
What am I putting on third?
What's on second?
You don't want who on second?
Who's on first?
I don't know. Third base. You got outfield, the left fielder's name.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask.
I just thought I'd tell you.
Tell me who's playing left field.
Who's playing first?
Stay out of the infield. I want to know what's the guy's name in left field.
What's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
And the left fielder's
Why?
name? Because.
Oh, that's our center fielder.
Look, have you got a pitcher on this team?
Sure.
The pitcher's name.
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me today.
I'm telling you, man.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
What time tomorrow are you going to tell me who's pitching?
Now look, who is not pitching? Who
I'll
is...
break your arm, you say who's on first. I want to know what's the pitcher's name.
What's on second?
I don't know.
Third base.
Look, You got a catcher?
Sure.
The catcher's name?
Today.
And tomorrow's pitching.
That's right.
All we got is a couple of days on this team. You know, I'm a catcher too. I get behind the plate, do some fancy catching. Tomorrow's pitching on my team, and a heavy hitter gets up. Now, the heavy hitter bunts the ball. When he bunts the ball, me being a good catcher, I want to throw the guy out at first. So I pick up the ball, and I throw it to who?
That's the first thing you said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about!
That's all you have to do.
Just throw the ball to first base.
That's right.
Now, who's got it?
Naturally.
If I throw the ball to first base, somebody's got to get it. Now, who has it?
Naturally.
Who?
Naturally.
Naturally?
Naturally.
Oh, so I pick up the ball and I throw it to naturally.
No, you don't. You throw it to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
That's what I said.
You're not saying that.
I throw the ball to naturally.
No, you throw it to who?
Naturally.
Listen, you ask me.
I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Now you ask me.
You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
Same as you! Same as you! Look, I throw the ball to first. Whoever it is drops the ball. The guy runs to second. Who picks up the ball, throws it to what? What throws it to I don't know. I don't know, throws it back to tomorrow. Triple play. Another guy gets up, hits a long fly ball to because. Why? I don't know. He's on third, and I don't give a darn.
What was that?
I said I don't give a darn.
Oh, that's our shortstop.
I'm gonna kill you! Thank you very much. Professor Adam Goodie, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Steve.
Okay, that was a lot of fun. Happy birthday, Dad.
That was
And
fantastic.
now, okay. And now, ordinarily Brad would beg for money at this point, but he's not here, so I'm going to do it. So here we go.
Brad begs for money.
Well, it's
Hey,
Steve.
we need your money. We don't charge a cover or a 2-drink minimum, so what did you expect, Jack?
We love doing this show, and this is our 198th episode. We've been doing this for darn near 4 years, and we're going to keep going, but we need your money. We need money so that we can hire Carla permanently. We need money because we got to pay off the estates of Abbott and Costello. We got to pay for a satellite hookup, for crying out loud. So if you don't mind, please go to virtualcomedyshow.com and find the yellow donate to the comedians button and click that thing. So a lot of you do this regularly, and we really appreciate you, but a whole lot of you never do it. So if you've never done it, this would be a great time to get on our good side, right, Bob? Right. They go to virtualcomedyshow.com and click the yellow button that says donate to the comedians, and we will divide it up equally amongst me, Carla, Lauren, Carol, and Patty. And Brad. Bob. That's right. What's that number again? virtualcomedyshow.com and click the button that says donate to the comedians. All right. And now, oh, this is exciting. Let's see. I'm going to add Carla now because this doesn't go, this goes quick. So it's time for the worst joke of the week. Here we go.
Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke.
Boo! That was the worst joke ever.
Time for the worst joke of the week.
Yay.
Family Dollar will pay $42 million for storing products in a rat-infested warehouse. The items included food and drug supplies that were shipped, gnawed on, and full of vermin feces to stores all over the South. The corporate arm of the chain is said to be horrified when they found out and will act immediately to change the name of its store to Family Nickel.
And that's our show.